How did one denim ad spiral into accusations of eugenics, racism, and a double celebrity backlash? It started as a clever wordplay, a little artsy spin on words meant to feel deep. But instead of selling jeans, Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle campaign managed to ignite one of the most heated internet storms of the year. And it wasn't long before Doja Cat jumped into the chaos, making things even messier. Sydney's ad dropped like a bombshell. Shot in a dreamy slow-motion visuals, she whispered a line that was supposed to feel profound. "My jeans are blue." She wasn't talking about denim, but genetics. Traits passed from parents to children. Hair color, eye color, personality. A script that tried to blur fashion and biology. But instead of landing as clever marketing, people immediately read it as coded messaging about eugenics, whiteness, and purity. Social media went into meltdown. The outrage wasn't just aimed at Sydney. People dragged the entire American Eagle team. This wasn't some random one-take commercial. Dozens of marketing professionals, copywriters, executives, and lawyers had to sign off. Critics compared it to the infamous Calvin Klein campaigns of the 80s and 90s, the ones dripping in pseudo-scientific, creepy undertones. Commentators accused the brand of packaging crypto-fascist imagery and denim aesthetics, and it sparked a larger conversation. Why, in 2025, are brands still pushing outdated and exclusionary visuals? Sydney herself stayed silent, and that silence spoke volumes. For many, this wasn't an isolated blunder. They connected it to her past, like those viral birthday photos featuring MAGA themes and her habit of staying quiet on political issues. To critics, the ad wasn't a mistake. It was part of a pattern, and the more she said nothing, the worse it looked. Then Doja Cat entered the chat. She filmed a parody of Sydney's monologue, mocking it word for word in a thick southern drawl. Fans rushed to cheer her on. TikTok comments lit up with laughter. For a moment, it looked like Doja had delivered the perfect clapback. But then the tide turned. Instead of all eyes staying on Sydney, Doja found herself in the hot seat too. People were quick to remind her, "We haven't forgotten your past." And that past is messy. Back in 2020, Doja was slammed for her presence in chat rooms where racist jokes and slurs were flying around. Screenshots showed her laughing along, even participating. She once used a niche slur that only lived on sites like Fortune. Videos circulated of her pandering to toxic audiences. Even after she denied supporting hate groups and offered vague apologies, the controversy stuck. Every time she jumps into race-tinged drama, the old wounds reopen. So instead of Sydney absorbing all the backlash, the attention split. Sydney was being blasted for tone-deaf marketing, while Doja was accused of hypocrisy and opportunism. Commenters debated, was Doja genuinely calling out a harmful campaign? Or was she just clout-chasing, hijacking Sydney's moment to distract from her own baggage? Either way, the result was the same. Both women dragged through the mud simultaneously. And that's when the bigger picture took over. Tweets started going viral pointing out the double standard. Sydney makes one weird ad and it's chaos. Doja's been problematic for years and she still gets treated like a meme queen. Some said it was about race. Others blamed fan loyalty. A few called it plain hypocrisy. Either way, the debate shifted from one bad ad to a conversation about cancel culture, selective outrage, and how the internet picks and chooses who pays the price. Meanwhile, marketing experts tore into the brand itself. They laid out the process. At least a dozen meetings with executives, creative directors, legal teams, and agents. Scripts drafted, revised, pitched, and approved. Entire crews on set, hearing Sydney recite those words. And somehow, nobody stopped to ask whether "my jeans are blue" sounded like propaganda. It exposed a deeper flaw in the industry. Brands chasing edgy aesthetics without considering the cultural landmines they're stepping on. Both Sydney and Doja chose silence as the backlash snowballed. No apologies, no clarifications, not even a vague, "y'all misunderstood me." Just silence. Some critics saw it as avoidance, while others argued it was a calculated PR strategy. wait out the storm. But silence has weight, and in this case, every day without a response only poured fuel on the fire. Now the internet is watching closely to see who blinks first. For Sydney, the fallout is particularly harsh. Her image as America's sweetheart is fractured, replaced with suspicion and disappointment. For Doja, the parody reinforced her brand as a chaotic internet queen, but it also dragged her old controversies right back into the spotlight. Both are caught in storms of hypocrisy, privilege, and outrage. And both are losing ground. This was never just about denim. It's about the stories brands sell, the skeletons celebrities carry, and the way audiences decide who deserves forgiveness. Some say this is accountability. Others say it's just recycled outrage, destined to fade when the next scandal drops. So, what do you think? Is Doja genuinely calling out privilege or just deflecting from her own? Is Sydney the victim of a marketing team gone rogue, or does her silence prove the critics right? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them all. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want more stories that have the internet spiraling. Because in this storm, every word and every silence says something.